Today on Working Webware, Web 2.0 office software in the enterprise. Can startup Zoho take on giants Microsoft and Google with its suite of office apps? We talked to the company's CEO, Sridhar Vembu, about building word processing and spreadsheet applications that are free, collaborative, and online.
Free sounds to me.
Vembu sits down with ZDNet's Dan Farber and Webware's Rafe Needleman and makes the case for his company.
So we are going to compete on the breadth, the depth, and the customization that enterprise users need.
Then Rafe and Dan go head-to-head, analyzing Zoho's odds for success. It's next on Working Webware.
Sridhar, thanks for joining us.
I'm happy to be here, guys.
Let's start with a big question, which is, I'm not sure whether it is that you have Google and Microsoft in your sites or they have you in their sites, but you're competing against some monsters. Now, how do you expect to do that?
Yeah, I think the market is large enough for all of us in this, and particularly with our focus on small and medium businesses and the user base that we have gained and the traction and the intensity, passion that our users show towards us. So we believe that there is a viable market for us.
And in terms of being a smaller player, how small or big are you in terms of the number of users that you have today?
Yeah, we have about 450,000 users, soon to be 500,000 users within a month. And it's the enthusiasm, the repeat nature of the user base, and the kind of stuff they're asking, the support questions. If you can look at our forums, that engagement, that's what gives me a lot of hope.
Are you going to leave the majority of the applications free or try to monetize
For
all of them?
personal users, personal use, it'll always be free. All the apps are free, including CRM.
No advertising?
That's something that we have not decided on, but it may not be a good fit, the classical advertising model. So we might look at other avenues for that, like sponsorships, for example.
Which is a form of advertising.
It's a form of advertising, but it's not changing all the time when a user comes.
Your competitors are for pay products, so it's obviously a way to try to gain market share by being free, but you have, 14 applications, a very broad suite, far broader than what Google has and even broader than what Microsoft can deliver. And yet, free sounds to me like it's not a solution for a company that can be successful in terms of all the development and monetizing.
It's actually, if you go back, the free is a way for us to lower our marketing costs. That's how I see it, to eventually acquire business users. And also, it's a way to gain credibility and critical mass. So the free is important as part of strategy here. It's not just tactics. It's important to acquire users. And then the business users come to us because we are credible and we are going to be around.
So your applications right now are online, are web-based, delivered as a service. A lot of people still aren't wholly comfortable with the idea of putting everything online, especially putting all their data on your servers. So what are your plans to get people more comfortable with that or to become hybrid and integrate with the desktop? That's
a good question. Actually, we get that kind of questions from the large enterprise customers. And so far, we have been mainly focused on the prosumer, the independent professional, and the SMB. And when we go to the enterprise, the larger end, I believe that the hybrid model will become important. It's where a SaaS model, but yet the data is in their control. It could be in a variety of ways in which we run a specialized data center for them, or the servers are in their control, administrative control, things like that. But that maybe in the next year or a year from now, we'll probably announce something like that.
You talked when we just started about how the market is big enough. There's plenty of room for a Zoho and other competitors such as ThinkFree to play in this cloud-based or hybrid model for productivity software. But what do you think it is that you have that's unique that will allow you to sustain yourself as Google and certainly as Microsoft starts to build more applications that compete more directly with you?
Yeah, we are going to compete on the breadth, the depth, and the customization that enterprise users need, the customization coming from the Zoho creator.
Let me ask the endgame question here. So what is the final vision for this company? Are you looking to be acquired by Google or Microsoft, or you think this is a sustainable business?
The parent company has been in business 11 years. We are privately held. So it's not our intent to sell. But then having said that, you know, in this business, you never know. You can never say never.
Here's the table, and the offers are welcome on it?
No, I didn't say that. I actually think my intent is to stay private.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Well, thanks very much for speaking with us, Sridhar.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
When we come back, we're going to talk about Zoho and let you know what we think are the odds for success for this little company. We are back, and now we're going to talk about our impressions of Zoho, what we heard from Sridhar and Rafe. Is this a company you think has got a lot of chance for success?
First of all, let me say I'm really glad we asked Sridhar to leave the room at this point,
Oh, you're going to be mean, I can tell.
Well, you know, I like what this company is doing. They're everything that webware is supposed to be, right? And their apps are pretty good. But I don't know if this company can make it up against Microsoft and Google, unless they do the buyout thing and become like, say, Yahoo's application platform of choice. I don't know if they can make it. 450,000 users, which is what he has right now, is a drop in the bucket compared to what the big guys have. Microsoft has a lock right now on small business productivity, and Google, with its vastly simplified but really excellent collaboration products, I don't know if Zoho can get into that market and establish the presence that it needs to succeed.
I tend to agree with a lot of that, but I think that Sridhar, he was talking about small business and medium-sized business. He wasn't talking about going after hordes of consumers because he cannot compete with Google on that front or even Microsoft. And I think the bigger challenge for his company is if you're going after that market, which is really hard to address because even with free and viral, you still need channels to reach those kinds of customers. And I would think that Zoho would do better riding the back with some partners like, let's say, NetSuite, to go into companies and sell as a whole integrated kind of suite where you just kind of bring it in, put it on an appliance, and go. And I also think that at some point Microsoft is going to rear its head and come out with a suite aimed at small and medium-sized business that is cloud-based, which will effectively take the wind out of any sales that Zoho has up and running.
No, I think you're right. I mean, Zoho, assume for the moment that Zoho has a superior product. What they don't have is the superior sales force. That's what Microsoft has. Microsoft knows how to get its products into the hands of small businesses, which is the hardest part of this problem.
So the challenge for Zoho now is to have this little window stay open where they can grow from 450,000 users to
drop in the bucket,
to 450 million.
Yeah, I wish them the best of luck, but I think you're right. Unless they find a small business channel that works, Google is going to take them over on the free end, and Microsoft will take them over on the pre-installed end.
There's lots of opportunity outside the U.S. I think oftentimes people tend to think like, oh, well, they're not going to be successful. Well, if success means you're successful in the U.S., I don't think that's the whole picture. And I also think that they've been very ambitious and industrious with those applications. I mean, they are way ahead of anybody else in terms of the development cycle and the depth and breadth of their applications. But I also think that's and sometimes a liability because it's overwhelming to some degree.
So let's roll the clock forward, and if Zoho continues at the pace they're on right now, what do you think they'll be in small business? What percentage of small businesses will be running Zoho versus Google, Microsoft, or OpenOffice?
Zoho is in a good position, given their breadth and depth, to come up with a package that is appealing to the small and medium-sized business, but they have to, I think, have a better way of going to market.
So ball's in their court, but it's not going to be an easy swing.
Not easy.
Not easy at all.
I think that the window may be another year before Microsoft decides that they're going to play ball in this space.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this company is doing a lot of the right things, but to make it succeed, it's really threading the needle through the channels that we've just discussed.
I think they have to find a way to make the breakthroughs that they have, which is they've been first in a lot of categories in terms of developing these cloud applications, including databases and Creator. And I think that this is a opportunity that they saw very early on, but as we've said, the window is closing.
Well, that makes sense. We'll see if they make it. I am Rafe Needleman from webware.com.
And I'm Dan Farber from ZDNet. We'll see you next time.